Okay, today we are playing a game on Dorado. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we'll be playing Mercy the entire way through. And I don't know if we were on the console or not because it's replay. I think we're on the PC, for once. So we've got defend... Start that one again. We got defend Dorado first. And we've got the good old double shield comp on our team. They've got double shield as well? Yeah, of course they do. So, Moira has jumped down fairly ahead of everyone else. Now everybody's starting to rotate around, except Hanzo, who's of course trying to still look to kill people over here. We come over, give him a damage boost. The other healer's Moira, so we're pretty much fine to be doing this. She should be able to handle looking after everybody else, especially with double shields, but looks like she's starting to struggle now, so we come back around. Still want to be damage boosting Hanzo as much as we can, given that... Well, I mean, damage boosting Mei is not the worst thing in the world, because she can do some pretty decent damage from, like, far away. And if you really want to break a barrier, or at least really try to break a barrier, you can damage boost the Orisa, and that ends up putting a fair bit of extra damage onto the barriers. But Hanzo, like, anytime you got a sniper on your team, damage boosting the sniper tends to make things easier for the sniper. You know, no guarantee that the sniper's ever gonna hit anything, of course, but they don't need to hit as well, and that's the important thing. Especially when you've got the Widow on your team, you know what I mean. So, not much, we're basically playing Mercy right now. We've been pretty safe, spent a lot of time out of line of sight of the enemy team. Here we're kind of like hovering in open space, which we don't really want to do. There's a barrier in front of us, but we're kind of just like hanging out in the center of the street, which is not ideal, because then we've got further to go to get to cover if we need to suddenly. As opposed to if we're just hanging out next to cover to begin with on either side of the street. So we've got Valkyrie now. Hanzo just died. Where did Hanzo die? I mean, he kind of died anywhere too convenient for us. Where the fuck is Hanzo? I don't know where Hanzo died. Where is Hanzo right now? Is that Hanzo up there? Where did our Hanzo go? That's Hanzo. And he died, like, right there. Like, right in the fucking street. Very convenient. So one thing the replay doesn't have going for it, it's not very easy to tell where somebody died. I mean, you know, you can see both teams through the walls and all of the ult charges, though, so that's good enough trade. So we've decided to use Valkyrie now. We don't have to worry about any ultimates that will punish us for being out in the open in the sky. They don't have a soldier or McCree or anything, so we can pretty much just hang out as far in the skybox as we can. Enemy Hanzo behind us, we don't like that very much. Both healers are now bullying him away. He's probably really happy about that one. Somebody died. Hanzo died? We could res the Hanzo. Oh, he's changing to McCree. Never mind. So, I'll assume we knew he was going to change to McCree, that he said something or whatever, because we could have resed him. Both teams are resetting right now, but the attacking team does have the spawn advantage. But hey, now we get to res Mei instead, so it works out in the end, because she died at a way worse time than Hanzo did. Right before the enemy team's about to start pushing in. So, they're all using their ultimates out there for some reason. Who did our toes ult? Yes, our toes ulted, and I didn't hear. Okay, so that's why they're all using their ultimates outside. And we just got hit right in the face by Junkrat, and he was damage boosted at the time as well, so we ended up taking a fair chunk of damage. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate timing to GA towards those people. And you can't really know what's going to happen, right? Like, it looked like it was going to be a safe place we were going to, but then Toes decided to use his ultimate right as we fly across, so... Sometimes, you know, you dash to someone, and you really wish you hadn't, like a second later. So we got a Pharah now. That's cool for us. We can hang out with the Pharah now, and mostly avoid the enemy team. We do have to worry about Hanzo and Zenyatta shooting us, but we don't have to worry about like a Widowmaker or a McCree or anything, so we can... It'll be hard for the Pharah to lead us to our death, which is something you have to be wary of when you're playing Mercy with a Pharah. They can quite often drag you to very dangerous positions. Oh god, we have gone way too far this time. boosted right over the enemy team. Again, I don't have anybody that can, like, super punish us for that so easily, so it wasn't the end of the world, but if they had, like, a McCree or a Widow over there and we did that movement, God, we would have been dead as fuck, or hopefully anyway, unless they were really bad and missed us. Just, like, shot over, hovered over them, shot back again. So we've got Valkyrie built up now. Some of our team died. We gotta wait for them to get back. We've now got a Reinhardt as well as a Sigma. I mean, you know, it's fine. Don't feel like Reinhardt's gonna get in a huge amount of value versus this team, but, you know, he's his own man. He can do whatever he wants. So surprisingly, Pharah actually killed the Orisa through Transcendence's damage. Well, she was probably just out of range of Trance or something at the time. And, hey, look at that. We didn't have to worry about it too much. Not much to say. We're pretty much playing Mercy. We haven't really done anything egregious except for that one overshoot so far. That one was pretty bad as well, right there. Just shot right in front of the enemy team. Again, you know, their team comp being as it is, it's unlikely we get punished for that kind of thing unless Hanzo gets us, so not the end of the world here, but versus other sorts of team comps, those kinds of movement errors can just cost you your life. You gotta be careful with the GA, you know, sometimes it takes you a lot further than you want to. But it's okay, we can cancel the GA as well. So we've managed to get over to res this McCree. He died in a very convenient location, which is always very nice when your teammates actually die somewhere you can feasibly revive them. Quite often they don't do that. So now they've gone, oh, they're changing again. They've gone Pharah, Rein, Zarya, and Genji. So now we have to worry about Genji coming for us, but we've got a Pharah on the team, so there's often going to be a place we can go to just escape, and Genji's after us right now, but we just GA away. We do also, we can hear Riptire right now, which is why we're hiding. Oh, he found us. Oh, damn. I wonder if he saw us go that way, or if he just happened to find us as he came around the corner. Now, either way, he got us. We broke the tether immediately and just hid around the corner. It's about all you can do as Mercy, you know? You can't feasibly break the tire, so all you can really do is hide. We do have to worry now that they've got Mei as well now, so they've gone for a big combo team. We do have to worry about getting caught in the Graviton. And because we are playing Mercy, we can be pretty far away from our teammates and still be tethered to them. So, playing Mercy and there's a Zarya on the enemy team. Be careful about being too close to your allies, but it never mattered. The game did not go on long enough for us to have to worry about Zarya actually using her ultimate. I pushed the number 1 key on the numpad, which has taken us way far back. This is still first round. Oh god, what a professional operation we run. So our attacking round is a lot shorter. Nope, that's slightly too far forward. Our attacking round's a lot shorter, so things either go really well or really badly. Actually, can they go really badly enough? No, they can't actually, can they? Unless my math is bad. My math is bad, I can tell you that much. So, what are they doing now? They're doing the same team they just ended with, so we do have to worry about the, Graviton again. And the Earth Shatter as well, but there's not always as much you can do about the Earth Shatter, depending on the Reinhardt. So, somebody's got to be touching the payload. Okay, and now somebody's coming out. I was like, we're gonna have to go back and touch that payload after we do this, but Reinhardt came back. So, Toes is doing absolutely ridiculous things up here, just like pushing into the entire enemy team by himself, but he didn't die. He didn't get punished, so he doesn't have to learn anything. The problem now with playing Mercy is we no longer have a really good damage boost target on our team. We now have Reaper Genji as our DPS, so they're not fantastic damage boost targets. Genji's, like, you can do, like, Valkyrie Dragon Blade, and then that's, you know, sort of like Nano Blade. Not as good, obviously, but it's, you know, it's a similar effect. But, like, once you've got a team that, like, doesn't really benefit from the damage boost, I always find it very difficult to justify picking Mercy anymore. because that's like the utility that she brings, right? As res as well she brings, but res is very dependent on your teammates actually dying somewhere where it's feasible for you to actually resurrect them, which is a rare day indeed. And we're fortunately not really having to try very hard right now, so we decide to pop Valkyrie right here because, I mean, Reinhardt's fucking going in, right? So this team fight's pretty much gonna happen. The thing is, we did just commit, like, a lot of ultimates to that team fight, because we just used Earthshatter, Valkyrie, and Dragonblade all in the one team fight. So there would now be concerns about the ult economy. There, Reinhardt just changed to Hammond, which is, a questionable choice. Hammond doesn't exactly gain a lot of value versus this team, other than being kind of annoying, you know? It's not like we've got any, like, big dive targets or anything. So we've got, you know, this coalescence situation happening now. If we swing to the right, because we have to go quite far to get to that doorway. If we swing right, we can hide behind the payload and try to line of sight it through that instead. We're more exposed to the enemy team by moving over there, but, like, the thing that's going to kill us right now is this coalescence. And to get to the door, we have to go pretty far backwards. Or we could try and tuck, like, behind the corner on the left, and then Moira kind of has to come a little bit more out of her way to try and get us. So, by that point we're kind of already fucked. So then we go, well, could we have just not been in this position to begin with? This is a fairly scary movement we make right here, because we do just, like, fly over the, in full view of the enemy team over them, in a fairly straight line, but they don't have any long-range DPS anymore, so not the end of the world. But what's the end of the world is then we end up stuck next to the Moira while she's using Coalescence, and there's nobody in a convenient place for us to GA out of line of sight. You know, life is hard. What are we thinking about? No, we're just waiting for our teammates. Okay. I didn't realize everybody else died. I was distracted. I just wasn't paying attention, let's be honest. So now we've got a Widow on our team, Widow being a very good damage boost target. So that now Mercy suddenly is gaining more value again. So we pretty much want to be tethered to her, like, the whole time. And now we have somebody that we can always go to get to safety as well, as long as we're in line of sight. Anytime there's, like, a long-range DPS on your team, and you're playing Mercy, it's worth keeping in mind where that hero is, roughly. Because if you need to get away, someone like Widow is always going to be very far away and on high ground, so they're a good escape point. Someone like Soldier is also along the same line, sometimes McCree, Ashe. So we got a Genji situation happening here. It's very unfortunate, yeah, we GA over to help our teammates, and then he pulls out Dragonblade. Do we cancel the GA? Because we GA and then we suddenly, like, stall out. Unfortunate timing more than anything, again. We GA'd right over to somebody right as somebody else started ulting nearby. You know, it happens to be one of the scariest ults that we could end up on. You know, sometimes your timing just ends up being unfortunate, you know? That's life. So, I mean, by all accounts, you know, this was a pretty easy game for us to win. We didn't really have to try particularly hard. So there's usually less to take out of it. But I mean, just from watching that gameplay, we're pretty much just playing Mercy, dude. Like, we were playing pretty safe. We were out of line of sight a fair amount of the time. We were damage boosting people. The only thing is that, like, we overshot, like, our target a couple of times and ended up exposed to the enemy team. And, you know, team comp that we were playing against couldn't really do anything about it, but it's the, you know, it's the kind of thing that can cost your life if you try to GA to somebody and then just, like, whiz right past them in front of the enemy team. So, you know, that's pretty much, like, the only thing that really stood out, really, because, I mean, a couple of times we died to the ultimate. It's more just unfortunate than anything else. The Sigma one was particularly unfortunate, where it just looked like we were getting to a safer position, and then the circle appears right under us as we GA over. Life is very hard sometimes. Yeah, pretty much just played Mercy, dude. Not a whole lot to say about it. Pretty much just, like, solid Mercy play, across the board, more or less, so. The emails, there isn't much in the email, but still, just more Mercy gameplay, still hard stuck plat. I mean, the thing is with Mercy is that it's just, sometimes it ends up being a real grind, you know, if you're a Mercy main, because Mercy is like the most dependent on her teammates of all of the heroes in the game. Well, maybe not. It's close between her and like Reinhardt or Orisa, you know. They're pretty dependent on their teammates actually doing stuff with them. But like, it's a little easier now, I think, with the role queue in, because you're not going to end up with like really ridiculous team comps while you're trying to play Mercy, which can really make it hard for her. But like, you can be like, unless you're an absolutely exceptional Mercy player, it's going to be difficult for you to actually climb consistently, because she's fairly dependent on her teammates. All you can do is like play consistently well, and then over time, you know, you're going to climb. But Mercy, I would say, is one of those heroes where you are more vulnerable to the variance of the random matchmaking than other heroes are. Mercy just has less ways to interact with the game. And like, we're playing safe, that's the thing, you know. I guess while we were using Valkyrie, when you're using Valkyrie, it's worth keeping an eye out for if there's any supports or DPS that are off by themselves, because if you can find a support or a DPS that's isolated while you're using Valkyrie, it is usually very easy for you to kill them, and it is very difficult for them to kill you. So, and as long as people aren't gonna die while you're going off doing this, you know, like, if their whole team is, like, nearly dead and you see them, you can't really go do it. But if your teammates are in a relatively stable position and you spot somebody by themselves, you can go off and get the kill on them pretty easily, and that's good to do, just because removing somebody from the enemy team is always, like, the most impactful thing you can do in the game, pretty much, and Mercy gets to do that when she's using Valkyrie. We didn't really seem to be looking for that, but I confess I wasn't really looking while we were using Valkyrie either. So, but we didn't do that during the game. Well, we did after the Reinhardt used Earth Shatter, but I mean, you know, at the same time. So, I guess I'll say that just because we didn't do it during this game. But I mean, this was a game that we won fairly easily, so there's usually less to take out of those games. Basically just, like, slight errors where we, like, overshot people and exposed ourselves, but this guy pretty much played Mercy. Just, like, solid Mercy. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.